Facebook friends and activists and revolutionaries and citizens of America and the planet. I am here with Ajamu Baraka, and we are also here with Melina Abdullah, who's in Los Angeles, and we are out here in Maryland, actually, right now at the University of Maryland, and we have the great honor of hearing from Melina tonight as part of our conversations of courage, about the courage to go green. As you know, there is a huge fear campaign going on right now because Hillary Clinton hasn't been able to win our votes. And so she's trying to, and her campaign is trying to fear campaign us into voting for them. So, and the Democrats in general are telling us we need to be good little boys and girls and keep voting for these parties that are throwing us under the bus. So I'm here with Ajamu, and then we'll hear from Melina in just a few minutes, talking about why it is that you should feel strong and you should feel proud to be standing up and voting your values and really making real change by refusing to be silenced, by refusing to be talked into the lesser evil, which in fact paves the way to the greater evil. We've seen the politics of fear delivers everything we were afraid of. It is a propaganda campaign intended to silence you and to marginalize you. And we say we've had enough. I'm going to turn it over to Ajamu to say a few words about his politics of courage, and then we'll turn it over to Melina.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you that no one should be surprised that Melina is standing with us. You know, it takes courage to do the kind of work that she's involved in. This struggle that she represents is one of the most critical fights that we have going right now. And so when you prepare to take on the state, when you prepare to stand up for social justice, when you prepare to stand up, and to stand out when history demands that, going green is important. Going green is courageous, but, you know, it's quite natural that this sister will stand with us because we are taking on the entire state. So we really, really appreciate the fact that you are standing with us, understanding that, you know, we've got to fight. We got to fight no matter who wins.
So Melina, take it away. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you say to people who are, you know, who are wavering, who are not sure whether they have the courage to stand up?
So I think that when we think about the struggle, especially the struggle that I've been engaged in for the last 3.5 years, so I'm one of the original members of Black Lives Matter, and just for the record, Black Lives Matter does not endorse political candidates, but we as organizers within Black Lives Matter have our own beliefs and our own convictions. And so I am voting for Stein Baraka in 2 days, and I'm very proud to be doing that. I think that there's a lot of parallels. If we think about what happened 3.5 years ago when Black Lives Matter was formed, it was a decision to build a movement rather than a moment. It was a decision to get out of line. It was a decision to not simply ask the state that oppresses us, the state that kills us, the state that targets Black people for demise, for minimal reforms. Instead, what we said is this entire system needs to be transformed. And so a decision is made every single day to either go ahead and say we're going to take whatever crumbs these institutions give us, or to push back and say, no, what we really want is freedom. And so I think that there's a parallel with this election. What they're trying to do is say, Donald Trump is so scary. And he is. He is scary. He represents everything that we don't want in this country. He represents the absolute worst of the worst, and he's whipped the right wing up into a frenzy. And so what the other side, what the Democrats have said, or the supposed other side has said, is that, well, you can't have Donald Trump, and so you must vote for Hillary Clinton. And if we think about what Hillary Clinton has done, she's come out, she's smiled, she's held hands with the right people, but her policies are not too far removed from what Donald Trump says he wants. And so even though
we may have a moment here of freezing of our stream.
he may be in fact, we're back? Okay. So this idea that, I don't know if you're frozen. Are you frozen? I think you're frozen there.
We're hearing you. So, and we're seeing a beautiful picture of you. So,
Okay,
there you are. Now you're moving.
Keep talking. So, I mean, this idea that Hillary Clinton is a better choice than Trump. She may, in fact, represent a smile on white supremacist, patriarchal, heteronormative capitalism, but it's still the existing system. And it's still the system that continues to target Black people, to target brown people, to target indigenous people and working class people, to continue to entrench patriarchy and gender-based oppression, to continue to entrench heterosexism and homophobia. And so we can't be voting based on fear. We have to vote based on what we believe. And so I've done my homework and I've looked at where each of the candidates stand on the issues that I care about, on not simply minimal reforms to policing and to the prison industrial complex, but to actually transform. There's only one candidate who's running for president who's committed to transforming the policing system, to transforming the prison industrial complex, to looking more holistically at what does public safety mean, and to say, you know, where we really need to invest our money is in livable wage jobs and a green economy, in ending student debt, and even having the courage to say higher education needs to be free, right? Those are the kinds of things that we want. We want to vote based on vision, not vote based on fear. And so I'm not going to go to the polls and vote based on fear. And in fact, much of the fear is really unfounded, right? This idea that we have to vote for Hillary Clinton. My vote actually means much more when I vote for Stein Baraka than it does if I were to vote for Hillary Clinton. I live in the state of California. So my vote, if I voted for Hillary Clinton, it would mean nothing, right? If I vote for Stein Baraka, it can help you get to 5%, which we know is the threshold that shifts everything. I'm tired of being entrenched in a two-party system where both the Democrats and the Republicans are completely beholden to corporate interests. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being a part of a system. When I cast my ballot, I don't want to cast my ballot for a candidate that really is rooted in my oppression and the oppression of my people. I'm not going to do it. When people say, you know, we have to honor our ancestors, I absolutely want to honor my ancestors. I want to remember that Fannie Lou Hamer didn't go along to get along when she helped to form the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party and go up against the Democratic Party machine. Fannie Lou Hamer demands that we have courage to vote based on our vision. And so I believe that voting for Stein Baraka is honoring my ancestors, is doing the work that they would have us do. And so let's be courageous, let's be visionary, and let's not vote based on fear.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. I am so overjoyed that we have had the honor, not just of talking with you tonight, but of working together on this campaign. And Ajamu and I are committed to keep this going, to building our power, to demanding the right of communities to control their police instead of having police controlling our communities, our right to have independent investigators, our right to have every death at the hands of police or in prison investigated so that every family has an explanation, every family sees justice, and perpetrators are held accountable. We are calling for an independent, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission as well as reparations for African Americans, as well as for redirecting the dollars. Half of the budget of Los Angeles is going into this police department, essentially an occupying military force. That money should be redirected to school programs and to jobs and to recreation and after school and so on. This is a fixable problem. It's all about our building the power and not getting talked out of our power, not getting talked into marginal solutions at the outside. This is about us working together and claiming the power that we have. Do you want to finish us out?
Working together to build the kind of revolutionary movement that we know we have to build. This can't be just about winning minimal reforms. We need certain kind of reforms, no question. But we understand that ultimately, the only way we're going to begin to address the issues that impact our folks and oppressed people in this country and around the world is when we build a revolutionary movement and we take the power that belongs to us back to the people. So my sister, we appreciate your comments, we appreciate your analysis, we appreciate your work, and together we're going to build the kind of future that we have to build in this country in order to liberate ourselves and to bring real social justice globally. Because this is the center of empire.
Right. Can I say just one more thing? I just want to say that what you both are saying about the electoral piece being part of it, there's only, you two are the only candidates that I've seen on the front lines. And so a pivotal moment for me, Jill, was when you came down to decolonize LA City Hall. And you stood with us and you said, we demand justice for Riddell Jones and for all of the people killed at the hands of LAPD. And you walked up to the mayor's office with us. And you weren't afraid to say, you know what, we will not continue to support police chiefs who give carte blanche to their officers to kill people. And you said the words, fire Charlie back. Then I watched both of you go to Standing Rock and stand with the indigenous people and not be afraid of the militarized police and private police who continue to threaten to make profits more important than people and more important than Mother Earth. I watched you do that. And that's the kind of leadership that we need. So I'm very thankful for your courage. And I know that Tuesday in some people's minds is the end, but for us, I think we recognize it as a beginning and that we're going to continue to struggle and build together. And the people together can create a free world where there's plenty in this world for all of us. And we can make it so it's fairly shared and we all prosper in this abundant, beautiful world that we can build together.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
We look forward to continuing this conversation now that we've discovered this medium for connecting across the continent and connecting with so many people who are really tuned in to this movement, this social movement, this political revolution. It is for so many people a lifeline. It is a lifeline of power and a lifeline of hope. And your voice is so critical as part of this movement and this conversation. So we look forward so much to continuing this conversation. And I'm just reminded here by some people in the room that we're also encouraging folks who are out there tonight to throw in $5 for 5%, because the political system that is trying to silence us is also trying to starve us and to white us out in the media and to blank us out in that flow of dollars that we need in order to finish strong. So if you got $5 to spare, throw it into the pot at jill2016.com. If you got more than that, great. But that little bit of financial support makes all the difference. And thank you so much for being a part of this. And thank you to Melina Abdullah for your transformative work. And we look forward to being a part of that work with all of you out there and our Facebook community. We are in this together. We're not going away. Let's be of courage and let's reject that lesser evil and their fear campaign and fight for the greater good, like our lives depend on it, because they do.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Thank you, my sister. Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Thank you.